Jim Otteson is the executive director for the BB&T Center for Study of Capitalism. He is a professor at the business school at Wake Forest University. He joins me now. I want to talk to him a little bit about the idea that this administration is trying to instill in the American people in the wake of this government shutdown, which is a joke of a shutdown. Jim, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here, Glenn.
Okay, so I don't think you could. I mean, you're shutting down 13 to 15% of this government. It's really not having any effect, I think, at all. They're intentionally trying to inflict pain. Unless you are the most lean and mean corporation, you can cut 15% from your bottom line, and it can run for a very long time without panic, could it not?
Absolutely. In fact, it's a fairly standard rule in business that you could cut 5 to 10% and probably increase productivity. And that's in a marketplace where people are disciplined by reality, unlike the federal government. And my guess is that you could cut 20 to 30 or more % of what the government does. And if you had people who were actually concerned about productivity, actually concerned about featuring and focusing on the core aspects of government, you could increase productivity, not decrease it.
But you can't. I mean, if you have a government that is telling its employees, make this as uncomfortable for the end user.
Right.
Do you ever go back to treating your customers as anything other than really animals?
Yeah, that's a good question, Glenn. I mean, I call this the zookeeper theory of politics. So what you have in the federal government is a general view that American citizens are really like animals in a zoo, and they're the zookeepers. They want to keep us controlled, safe, happy, not allow us too much freedom. And in order to do that, if that's your view, then it's very hard to reestablish the dynamic that we had at the founding of the United States, which is that we are all peers. And in fact, the federal government is our servant, not the other way around.
Are you concerned at all? I mean, I think it's, and I'm not going to ask you to comment on this, but I think it's a sign of psychosis on what's going on, where you are having public servants say, punish them, when you say close down the World War II memorials. It is a sign of psychosis. It's deeply disturbing. Would you at least go that far?
Yes, I would agree with you on that, Glenn. I'll tell you, I mean, I think there are at least two different kinds of reasons for this. One, of course, is the strategic and partisan reason. The Obama administration, the White House, they want to win this. They see themselves in a strategic and partisan battle. They want to win. That's the strategic reason. But there's another thing going on here, Glenn, which I think is actually deeper than that, and that's really a philosophical difference. Because I think it's important for the way the progressive view of government operates that most citizens in America view themselves as unable to lead their own lives on their own, that they can't really get on in life without vast and substantial help from third-party beneficiaries like the government. And I think that's really what worries people in the Obama administration and elsewhere, is that people might get the idea that, you know, if you can shut down 13 or 15%, whatever it is, of the federal government, and most of our lives go on without us really noticing, then maybe we could get this idea that was once prevalent in the United States that, you know, I'm really in charge of my life. I'm really the captain of my life. You're the captain of your life. Maybe we don't need such vast and intricate supervision of all aspects of our lives. And if people start to get that idea, boy, then we really do start to have trouble for the progressive view of government.
Yeah, back in just a second, I want to bring up Calvin Coolidge when you come back, who cut 50% when he got into office, and it spurred on the Roaring '20s.